Vanakkam and good evening to everyone. I hope you all had your lunch. And okay, the topic I'm going to speak today is about international relations. I'm sure you all are engineering background, so the topic might not directly relate to what you all are studying, but inadvertently, when you are eventually graduated outside there, you will learn that these are the topics that will shape the world. Apart from the engineering, provides science, technology, you can see in the world now what's happening, politics of the world, what's happening in the West, what happening in the Middle East, that the political and the war situation, how it's shaping people moving around the world, and that also affects how you're going to look for opportunities, travel plans, your future, everything. So the topic is Malaysia, India, a case study in South-South cooperation through innovation. What I can say is, you see, when we talk about South-South cooperation, we always say, let's say we talk about Silicon Valley in US. Everyone wants to be there, their dream, to be in Silicon Valley. They say it's the most advanced place for future technology growth, especially in the IT fields, and of course in the West. What if you think that a Silicon Valley can be created in a place like India or even in Malaysia? If you already have in India, they say Bangalore is called as the second Silicon Valley of the world. I was just last week was there, and I can see that's happening. But not only that, Bangalore being a more internationally exposed city when it comes to Internet of Things, we can see in Tamil Nadu, it's also doing so well. We can see the IT parks. I visited HCL campus, TCS, and the IT park, Tidal Park, and new things coming up in Foxconn plants, this and that. You can see a huge development is taking place on the IT field, even in Tamil Nadu. Even I would say sometimes it's greater than what's happening in other parts of India. So looking at that, so you must be thinking, how does this South-South cooperation through innovation works? See, you can see Malaysia and India are a powerful example of what actually we can look at innovation as a bridge. You can see by when you talk about South-South cooperation, I'll talk about what is actually this South-South cooperation when it comes to India and Malaysia. We can see countries look at North-South relations. Okay, you can see the North. If we can take the equator line in our global map, we can see the north part of the equator, mostly of developed nations, Western zone, this over there. And then we have the southern below the equator, which is mainly least developed countries or developing countries, mainly developing countries and LDC countries. So, and then comes east-west cooperations. So you can see north-south and east-west kind of cooperations, how the dimension the world moves around, Like you see, like north-south divide is always there. When we talk about certain negotiation like climate change, you can see the climate change on certain aspects until now has not been concluded. The countries to the parties conference is still haggling on certain aspects of financing this and that. That's because usually there's this divergence in terms of thinking between North and South countries, So the North wants the South to preserve their nature, environment, okay, in terms of forestry, reducing less emission, but we must question, if we want to do that, who's going to pay for that, for us to develop our South? So this is the question. So the South, they impose on the North who's going to finance it? And what is the finance volume like to come up with new technologies for us to preserve our environment in order to keep the world carbon and emissions to a control level? So these are some of the questions. So, but when it comes to South-South cooperation, it's something unique in the sense that you can see Malaysia and India, uh, when we do enter into cooperation in the context of South-South cooperation, we don't look into our relationship into that kind of concept. Okay, who finance this and that is more to mutual friendship kind of thing, and all fields we're willing to give and take. So we can see that we partner each other over the years through knowledge, technology, resources to create progress for in all fields. In terms of we can see Malaysia and India have many MOUs and agreements that being constantly already signed, constantly reviewed and upgraded. And quite recently, Malaysia and India agreed to upgrade our relationship to a comprehensive strategic partner. It happened during the Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's visit to India last August. So all these things happening. So these are some of the things that I, as a diplomat today, would like to bring to your attention, because it's important, like people who are in the science and technology field, especially engineering, when you go out, eventually you might lead an organization and become a corporate figure or own a business, that you will come to understand that these kind of things are very important, that the way you think and do things must be able to tap the opportunities that are created out of this kind of corporations, that will bring you far if you understand well. So that's my main point today, that you all need to constantly take up this kind of thing and read about it and get to know about it, apart from your field of expertise on focusing on engineering. So when I spoke to many technical people in engineering there, you will see that what you learn in university during engineering time, you'll be most of the time in the outside world, the application will be totally different. So when it comes to that kind of thing, you have to incorporate how the world sees, through countries cooperating, and what are the things we are talking about. What is it? And further on that, I like to touch on this. Like, if we talk about Malaysia, and Malaysian, we have a good size of Indian population there. Okay, and Malaysia, I will take into another concept whereby Malaysia is also an ASEAN member. So let me briefly introduce what is ASEAN. How many of you all know about ASEAN? Please take up your hand. ASEAN? ASEAN, not Asian, ASEAN. ASEAN. Okay? It's a regional organization based in Southeast Asia. And Malaysia is part of the member. It has 10 countries now. That is Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and Cambodia, Laos, and so 10 countries you can see in the region. So Malaysia is a chairman of ASEAN for the current year. So as a chairman, it's a rotation by alphabetical order. Each member will take will hold chairmanship for 1 year. And out of that, during that time, what ASEAN has entered into is, in 2015, we have signed an agreement to create ASEAN community in Southeast Asia among the 10 countries. Okay, so and it's divided from political pillars, economic pillar, and social economic pillar. So from the context of economic and social cultural pillar, India is a dialogue partner to ASEAN, and bilaterally, Malaysia and India have a good ties. So you can see, and Malaysia, you will see what will happen next week. There is a big meeting that will take place in Kuala Lumpur, around 6 to 12 July, ASEAN ministerial meeting. You will see a lot of dialogue, meetings, these reports coming out. Please take update what's going to happen. And then consequently, next will be October. There will be a major summit of leaders, 10 ASEAN countries with dialogue partners, which India will come in. So under that concept, India is pushing for digital transformation with ASEAN. There's a lot of information relating to how does India and ASEAN going to work out this our digital transformation between the two regions, ASEAN and India. Okay, so you can see, I can't elaborate much, but you can look at documents. It's there in the internet. Go ahead. Why I'm telling you, because you see, you might eventually come out. Please take up those reading, that contents, and try to read what does that mean and why you can come in that scope. So these are some of the things that you all should think and ponder upon to look at how to create opportunity for you in future. Okay, and we can see when it comes to that is where the South-South cooperation comes out. And Malaysia, there's also another concept under the Malaysia, that Malaysia and Singapore has already signed an agreement to a policy agreement to come up with Johor, Singapore. Johor is one of the states in Malaysia. It's bordering Singapore. They have a bridge there, land border crossing. What will happen is Malaysia and Singapore have signed joint economic exclusive development zone between Singapore and Johor, part of Malaysia. And in the last 1 year, there's a lot of things happening on data center, research parks, startups, investment, kind of thing in a very huge scale, fintechs, all that companies are moving into the region. So again over here, I open up another eye-opener for you all. Try to go and explore what's happening in that thing. You might avail yourself for a job opportunity, in technical field for you all. There's a huge investment is going on into that area. Johor, Singapore, economic exclusive zone. So these are some of the general things I will just put to your thoughts today. A part of that, of course, when you go to these regions, what you'll understand, what you'll learn is, how many of you have traveled to Malaysia? Please put up your hand in your life. None have traveled? There are a few, okay, 2 or 3 people, okay. I saw about 4 people, okay. See, Malaysia is reasonably cost destination for travel. There's many flights. Try to travel, explore. And when you come to, and Malaysia is a very free, safe country for travelers. And you will notice a lot of Indian culture, mainly South Indian culture there. Everywhere you go, in Kuala Lumpur, in Penang, okay, in Malacca, a place called, you might come from Ipoh, in a place called Ipoh. So you'll see very familiar places. Exactly, you will see streets that sell chapati, toza, biryani, idli. Everything will be available together with other cultures, Chinese food, Malay food, Western food, or their culture, all the culture will be there. So you will see it's very interesting that these two countries under the South-South cooperation and in the context of ASEAN offers a very good scope of expanding your horizon, rather than now all the time they think of West. But we look at West, I said to you, North, South, how the international relation works. You can read how the world political system moves, okay? So let us, from moment I introduced the topic today, South-South cooperation, and you all being a technical field, look at the possibility of exploring under this South-South cooperation as an innovative topic today, an innovation that comes in between Malaysia, Singapore in terms of bilateral ties, which is ever expanding in terms of trade and economy, and education, any other place, tourism, and culturally, you're already there because it's a very easily adaptable country for you all to take up any opportunities in terms of scope of work or becoming an academic fellow in local institutions there. There's a lot of requirement for academic fellows. There's a huge number of universities present in Malaysia. foreign universities as well as government universities, and also private Malaysian universities, and join branch campuses by foreign universities. So all this offers big opportunity for you all to explore that under the South-South Cooperation as a platform, for you all to explore and build up Malaysia, India bilateral ties, and let's both country look into the opportunities and benefit from those opportunities. Thank you.